Well, everyone, after all the years of covering Transformers on this channel, I thought a certain era was done. I thought it was over. I thought we would never be revisiting what we're going to be talking about today.
Maybe I just need to recharge my batteries. You asked me the question again.
That's right, everyone. The rumors are most likely true. It does look like Michael Bay is once again returning to the director's chair for another Transformers movie in a pretty shocking revelation here that has gone online. The rumors first dropped pretty recently. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I was very surprised when I found out about this. I just happened to be awake. I was very sick. It was like 3:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden I'm just getting all this news that Michael Bay might be back to direct another Transformers movie. So, I was quite shocked. The word on the street is that Michael Bay requested to either be a hands-on producer or a director on the upcoming film, which he approached Paramount Pictures about probably about a year ago. And the script, I assume, is either started to be written or is already written. Either way, it would be written by Jordan VanDina. Now, VanDina has most recently been involved with the Animaniacs reboot, which ran for about 3 seasons and has had fairly pretty good reviews. Now, VanDina's involvement I find to be very interesting because this kind of proves to me that this news is legit, because I feel like VanDina is such a random choice to add to a fake rumor. I think this solidifies that it is actually happening, and VanDina actually did address this on Instagram, on his personal Instagram account, and he just posted a screenshot from a Screen Rant tweet about the news that Michael Bay is reportedly developing a new Transformers film with Jordan VanDina penning the script, and anyone commenting underneath it are congratulating him for the gig, and he is liking these posts. So I'm assuming that at least the Jordan VanDina part is true, and even that Michael Bay did approach Paramount Pictures to direct the movie. Now, will this actually happen? I think it will, and I think it would actually be a very good move by Paramount Pictures to do so. Michael Bay has supposedly been attached to the Skibbity Toilet movie for the past about year or so, and recently he did make an Instagram post saying that he was not actually involved, and says that he has other scripts on the table, in which he then turned the camera to literally show a bunch of scripts that he was involved with, and he singled one out specifically that he showed very quick. We could not see what the script actually was, but I'm pretty sure that script that he singled out was the Transformers script written by Jordan VanDina. Now, this is not the only Transformers film that is potentially in production. There are apparently 5 of them in different stages of development, and Paramount Pictures and eventually Skydance, if the purchase ends up going through, need to put these into production by 2029 in order for them to retain the rights to the franchise, which I assume will be pretty easy, especially since 5 are being kind of worked on as we speak. Among these projects is one directed by Josh Cooley, who, if you didn't know, was the director for the animated project Transformers 1. And while it is a bummer that he would be moving over to the live action side of things, I think it's great that Cooley gets to stay involved with the franchise, and maybe if some things play into the right hands and the cards all fall into place, maybe we can eventually get that Transformers 1 sequel. Along with that, there is the G.I. Joe crossover film that has been teased ever since Transformers Rise of the Beasts, as well as 2 other secret projects that we know nothing about. Now, Michael Bay has obviously directed 5 Transformers films, with 2 of them making over $1 billion, and if you remember, a long time ago, back in 2011, Transformers Dark of the Moon was once the 4th highest grossing movie of all time, so Michael Bay is no stranger to success to the Transformers movies, and his lowest grossing film was his final one, Transformers The Last Knight, with $605 million at the box office. It was deemed a failure, especially since Dark of the Moon and Age of Extinction did so well, both breaking over $1 billion. But since Michael Bay left the franchise, no other movie has made that much money. First, we had Bumblebee, which had a much smaller budget, but it still only made $468 million. and that was followed up by Transformers Rise of the Beast, which made $442 million. And of course, Transformers 1, unfortunately, was the lowest at the box office with only $129 million. So, even Michael Bay's weakest box office outing was still better than any film without him. Now, Michael Bay has not been involved with these movies. He has stuck around as a producer, but it's mostly been an overseeing thing, not much involvement at all, pretty much name alone, and has let the directors do their own thing. So, yes, it looks like Michael Bay will be making a return, and I do feel like this is a smart financial decision for Paramount Pictures because the Michael Bay movies make money. Even Transformers The Last Night made $600 million, which post-COVID era is becoming harder and harder to do. Now, going back to Michael Bay, I think brings that higher chance of people seeing it for the giant action sequences and the great cinematography. Now, if Paramount Pictures or eventually Skydance do really want to make this return worth it, I think they're going to have to start banking on nostalgia. Michael Bay is great on his own to bring that name alone to the project, but I think if you're going to want to make a movie that's going to make roughly $1 billion, or at least close to that number, you have to bring in the nostalgia fans. Now, this won't be a long-term solution. This will definitely be a short-term gain to get the public excited about the franchise again. And then, of course, this means that you're going to need to get Shia LaBeouf. You're going to need to get Megan Fox. And then at that point, bring in everyone. Get Josh Duhamel back. Get Tyrese Gibson back. Get John Turturro back. Get everyone back together in this movie with Michael Bay, and likely chances that this movie will be very successful at the box office, because if you look anywhere on the internet, the general public does get pretty nostalgic for these, especially the original 3 Transformers films. Now, would that actually happen? I think getting some of these actors back will be pretty easy. Josh Duhamel just did The Last Night. Tyrese Gibson is absolutely in love with the franchise and would basically do it for free. And John Turturro came back for The Last Night as well. Now, as far as Megan Fox, I think that would be an easy get. Her and Michael Bay kind of patched things up back in the Ninja Turtles era when she came back when he produced those movies. And I think, she doesn't really have anything going on right now. And I think coming back to a giant blockbuster franchise is something that she would not say no to. Now, the biggest problem is definitely going to be Shia LaBeouf, along with the real-life personal issues with LaBeouf. He has sworn off the Transformers franchise ever since he finished things off with Dark of the Moon as the ending to his trilogy. So to get him back, I think Paramount would kind of have to, show him the script, say this is what we can do with bringing back your character of Sam, and this is why it's worth it to come back. I don't think they're going to be able to get everyone. I think that's going to be a tall order to ask of, the casting to get everyone to come back. It is definitely going to be a difficult road. But if Michael Bay approached the studio and it's like, hey, we got this script, I want to direct it, that means he's excited about it, and that's a very good sign. If I was Paramount Pictures, I would just want to make sure that we really cash in on this. If Michael Bay's excited about it, if you get Michael Bay back after this long period, he has not directed a Transformers movie since 2017, you're going to have to go all in to get the best financial box office success that you can. If not, I don't really think it's worth it to bring Michael Bay back. I mean, I guess it kind of is in a way, but you're probably going to be paying him a lot of money. He's going to want to have a bigger budget. You're going to have to tone that down a little bit. And I think that in order to guarantee success, you need to bring back those actors that people have nostalgia for. So those are my thoughts on Michael Bay's potential return. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down in the comment section down below. And make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and come back again to hear about maybe some more potential news about Michael Bay's return to the Transformers franchise. Until next time, I'm Mike. See you guys.